Of course Aaron Rodgers love. Namaste. First off, welcome to the new year that is 2022. Secondly, let's discuss the consciousness of man, the innate benefits of capitalism, and the turmoil that can result from extreme governmental oversight as it applies to small and medium-sized businesses. Not of interest to you? Perhaps you haven't read Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged, noted favorite novel of Aaron Rodgers and every 17-year-old libertarian interested in majoring in finance. Related story: 27 questions about Mariah's new McDonald's ad. How do we know this? During Monday Night Football, Peyton and Eli Manning had Rodgers on for a segment and couldn't resist asking him what he was reading from the bookshelf behind him on camera. Earnestly, Rodgers points to the collection and says, "A lot of French poetry," before pointing to the other side and saying, "Got Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand over here." Then, he adds that he also has a football helmet on the shelf, signed by both Manning brothers, leading me to believe that Rodgers reads that regularly, too. While I'm intrigued by the idea of Rodgers kicking back with a tall glass of room-temperature kombucha, reading the works of De La Fontaine and Hugo, the part that caught the attention of the internet is, of course, the Ayn Rand of it all. Rand's best-known work, Atlas Shrugged, is often referenced as a favorite in libertarian and conservative circles. So when our guy proudly pointed to the nearly 1,200-page work as a highlight of his library, people took notice. This content is imported from Twitter. You may be able to find the same content in another format, or you may be able to find more information at their website. Aaron Rodgers points out his copy of Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand to Eli and Peyton Manning during Monday Night Football. PIC at twitter.com/2QSOCSSB3M. The recount: January 4, 2022. For most of us, Atlas Shrugged was the summer reading assignment we skimmed a third of before resorting to SparkNote. You didn't need to read it, really. Blake, that guy from your junior year literature class who has big thoughts on the free market, wasn't going to let you get a word in edgewise during class discussion anyway. And that's because Atlas Shrugged is the Bible for people who might describe themselves as simultaneously cerebral and free thinker. It represents an ideology that values the individual and his own decisions. Or, as my friend Zach used to say, it's a real douche nozzle's guide to the world. This content is imported from Twitter. You may be able to find the same content in another format, or you may be able to find more information at their website. Rodgers giving a shout out to Atlas Shrugged on the Manningcast was the free spot on Manningcast Bingo. Vinny Espinoza, January 4, 2022. This content is imported from Twitter. You may be able to find the same content in another format, or you may be able to find more information at their website. Atlas Shrugged is the favorite book for a lot of people who never read a book. Morton Overby, January 4, 2022. This content is imported from Twitter. You may be able to find the same content in another format, or you may be able to find more information at their website. What kind of weirdo reads Ayn Rand at damn near 40? Brandit N, January 4, 2022. This content is imported from Twitter. You may be able to find the same content in another format, or you may be able to find more information at their website. Average Atlas Shrugged reader, PIC at twitter.com/xcjt90bqip. Ship of Theses, January 4, 2022. This all aligns pretty nicely with the headline-making course that Rodgers has been on for the past 6 months. After claiming to be immunized in August, Rodgers tested positive for COVID-19 this fall and further explained that he's not actually vaccinated in the, actually vaccinated way, but that he's taken alternative treatments like ivermectin, which is an anti-parasite medication often used on horses. Looking back, Rodgers' explanation on the Pat McAfee show should have tipped us off on what was to come. I believe strongly in bodily autonomy and ability to make choices for your body, not have to acquiesce to some woke culture or crazed group of individuals who say you have to do something. Health is not a one-size-fits-all for everybody. His worldview gels perfectly with 2 facts seared into my mind for eternity. Rodgers' Finnessy Shailene Woodley absorbs vitamin D through her vagina and sometimes eats clay. I don't fault Rodgers for loving Ayn Rand. I fault myself for not assuming Ayn Rand was an inspiration in this tall of a man's life from the jump. Now, I simply want to know what else is on the bookshelf. Eat this, not that. 3 unopened paperback copies of Animal Farm. A VHS copy, The Scarlet Letter, where Demi Moore takes bath. Open my mind, Aaron Rodgers. Save me from myself by recommending Chicken Soup for the sports fan's soul. The Packers are set to play the Detroit Lions this Sunday at 1 p.m. Aaron Rodgers is set to play himself again at some point in the near future. Justin Kirkland is a writer for Esquire, where he focuses on television, pop culture, food, and the South. He is from East Tennessee and currently lives in Brooklyn, New York. This content is created and maintained by a third party and imported onto this page to help users provide their email addresses. You may be able to find more information about this and similar content at piano.io.